this computer.
So do I have to say like Happy Yom Kippur to you?
You would if I celebrated, but I don't. But it was respectful of you to think of me.
Welcome back to the pod, everybody. Fourth episode. We're gonna come at you with some fun and exciting content today. It's just gonna be me and Jerry, unfortunately, but we're gonna make it work.
Fortunately, I think the listeners want it to just be the dynamic duo again. It's been a while. It's been since the first episode, since it's just been me and you. So good to get back to basics, buddy.
Of course.
Do we want to catch everyone up on how life has been?
Yeah, sure. So, I'm working an internship and I'm taking 3 classes. So far, it's been so good. I mean, there's one week that was pretty busy just because I had schoolwork and work, which wasn't fun. Let me rephrase that because that sounds like I don't have schoolwork every week, but like I had like stuff I needed to turn in. So we'll say that.
Is the 3 classes noticeably easier than the 4 classes?
Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't know if that's because it's online, so just everything feels easier or what, but and then also I've been teaching my sister how to drive. So that's been fun. We went on the highway today. We had minimal hairy moments, which was good. We made it back. She did great. She killed it.
Awesome. Were you terrified?
Probably the first 30 seconds on the highway, but then it was fine.
I remember the first time I was on a highway was just one of the scariest moments of my life. That was having to get up to 60 or 65 on as you're merging is really
I think
scary.
merging is the worst part.
I still hate merging. I'll still turn my head. I don't trust my mirrors at all.
Yeah, neither do I.
Fun stuff. How have the weekends been? I feel like during this time without soccer, that's the most empty time to fill.
Oh, another update. I've been practicing with Brandeis, so that was pretty fun.
That's fun. I missed
So
that.
I got 4 practices in, which isn't bad considering there's only 16.
Yeah, but it seems like it's just like it's a lot of individual stuff. It's not enough kids.
I mean, actually, it was really fun. We got a bunch of reps in. It's a lot of pattern play and shooting competition stuff. I mean, they made it fun. I think our coaches did a great job with it.
Yeah, I was talking to them the other day, and we were kind of projecting about the spring and how much we'd be able to do. And I think at worst, they said likely at worst we'll be able to have the 16 sessions again. But I think we're all hoping for, maybe even 2 or 3 months of real training. That would be awesome because I know, college soccer, you don't really get to train. As our coach said, train to get better. You really only train for the next game. So I think that's something positive we may get out of this is hopefully in the spring we'll have like a full length practice schedule like we did in high school. Yeah, I guess similar to you. Some weeks have been busier than others. Comparing right now to the summertime, I much enjoy taking classes over working because I don't have to report to anyone. I don't have a boss, and I don't really have important deliverables. Worst case scenario with a class, if I get a bad grade, I can make it up the next week. But with a boss, you're susceptible to getting yelled at every single day, and
You don't like someone being in charge of you?
yeah, and I like being in charge of my own schedule, my own stuff. And yeah, I think classes are undoubtedly easier online at this point. Not only have the professors gotten better, but I think we've gotten better at knowing, what we need to do. If there's stuff we don't need to do online, it's gotten better for us in terms of like knowing what we have to do to get the grades we need to get. Because yeah, I mean the whole system is messed up. It's all the whole incentive is for us to get good grades. So I think I'm definitely getting the hang of how to thrive in this environment. It's not that fun, but I think we're all learning how to get the best grades possible.
Put it very mildly, it blows.
As weird as it is to say, not even weird, but as I don't know. It's strange to like miss just being in a class, like being able to look to your right and left and like see kids, laugh at the professor, simple stuff like that,
I
walking in.
miss people and human
Yeah,
interactions. Yes.
exactly. Yeah. I befriended one of my neighbors who
Oh, okay. In what type of way? Are we talking intimate or what are we
he
talking?
is a fifth grader. So on
Ooh.
two counts,
So that would be wildly inappropriate.
not necessarily a romantic relationship.
Hi, Mom. I'm recording the podcast.
Go
Bye.
Ravens, go Ravens. Um, yeah, but this kid is a fifth grader, and he went to the same, obviously goes to the same elementary school I went to, and he plays soccer and basketball, and so um, he kind of looks up to me a little bit. So I let him come
You'd like
over,
to
and
think, yeah.
we play basketball together, and it's good to give back to the younger generation. It's enjoyable.
Yeah.
He's such a smart kid. And yeah, so that family moved here when I was going to private school. So I wasn't really a big part of the town or the community I live in for the past 5 or 6 years. So being home has given me an opportunity to kind of just
Befriend
relax,
fifth
sit back,
graders.
and sort of and befriend a
Relax,
few
sit back, and befriend fifth graders.
yeah befriend a few neighbors, which is nice because yeah during this time I feel like being part of a community is tough to find, but we certainly don't feel like we're part of the Brandeis community right now, or at least I
Well,
don't. So
I'm glad you found it in the much younger community.
um, yeah, so that's pretty much it. We're about 4 or 5 weeks into the fall semester. It's kind of flown by, which is good. And yeah,
You need to
Birch, I guess
find
you want to.
housing soon.
Yeah, I know. I was just gonna say we want to talk about maybe what our plans are for the spring because even though it's September, you know me, I plan 3 years ahead of my life.
Yes, you
So
do.
yeah, Birch, you want to tell the viewers what we're thinking about for the spring and who we're going with and all this stuff?
Well, right now we're thinking about either a 6 month or an 18-month lease on a house because we're just thinking living on campus would be absolutely miserable and not fun and like lockdown basically. So we're thinking off campus is the way to go. We'll be living with two of our roommates from last year, one good, one bad. You can guess which one's good and which one's bad. I won't say anything. Their names are Jake and Sam. They're cool dudes, but once again, one is good and one is bad. Any guesses,
What?
Jared?
One is good, one is a bad. What? A good roommate versus a bad roommate?
Hmm.
My mom told me I was telling my mom about our housing search, and she said, Jared, I want to make sure you get a good room, unlike last year, because I got the smallest room last year. And
You
I said,
picked
Mom,
that
I
room.
I know. I said, Mom, I really don't care. Like, I'd much rather help my friends out and maybe earn some brownie points with them versus taking what 20 extra square feet that wasn't going to matter.
I'm
So
not
I
gonna
told
lie, I don't think any of us treated you different because you took the smaller room.
no, but it's a war. It's these little things add up to a person's personality. And if I'm the type of guy that's giving away the best room, to make my roommate situation better, um, I think that's commendable. I commend myself. And I think I'm that type of guy to always think of others first. So that's my humble brag. Yeah, so we're looking for that. The housing, finding a house is kind of frustrated, kind of annoying. There's a lot of leads and there's a lot of calls, a lot of emails, a lot of texts. And I'm not in the area to be able to look, but hopefully one of our roommates will be able to do that job for us and
I
hopefully
was
in a
in the
few.
area for a week, but Jared was unable to set something up, unfortunately.
Yeah, the realtors didn't get back to me in time, but hopefully in a few months we'll be able to report back to everyone, and we'll have some live podcasts in the spring. So that'll be exciting stuff.
Ooh, okay. Check out the studio.
Oh my God, yeah, definitely. Um, Birch, how has the first 3 weeks of football been? I'm not a huge football watcher, but from 1 to 4 every Sunday, 1 to 4:30, I do watch Red Zone. Because that's mildly entertaining for me, but I will not sit down and watch an entire game because I don't really have a team. So how has it been for you the first 3 weeks? Seems like no COVID issues in the league, which is awesome. I had no idea how they were going to be able to do it, but um, I'm sure all NFL fans are excited about it because it looks like the season's going to go through without any major hitches. So how you feeling?
Um, Yeah, it's super exciting. I'm a pretty big football head, but I mean, I don't really watch any games all the way through unless it's like Monday night or Sunday night or Thursday night. Like I won't watch the day games all the way through. I'll just watch
Yeah,
Red Zone unless the
yeah.
Ravens are playing. Then I watch the whole game through. I'm a Ravens fan. I'm not a bandwagon fan. I've been a Ravens fan since I was out the womb, just
I
for
mean,
our
they
viewers.
they haven't made the conference championship in a while, so you wouldn't be a Ravens bandwagon fan, right?
What do you mean? Like it could be considered that because they went 14-2 last year. Just because they didn't do well in the playoffs, like we have the most
Got it,
transcendent
got it.
player in league history, Lamar Jackson.
Okay. I'm just saying it's not like they've made the Super Bowl recently, and that's what I don't think there's a lot of bandwagon fans right now. That's what I'd have to guess.
Sounds good.
Um, so big game coming up tonight. We're taping
Yep,
this on
Ravens,
Monday night. Um,
Ravens, Chiefs. So we'll see what happens. I'm predicting a Ravens win by 11 points. I think it's going to be 34-23. You heard it here first. So we'll see if I'm looking like a fool or I'm looking phenomenal whenever we decide to release this episode. Also, shout out to my girlfriend. We will have been dating 6 months tomorrow.
wow, that
I
is a
know.
long time. Only 6 months? What is this? No, 6 months would be March is when you started dating?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Birch's girlfriend, who I will not name. Congratulations. I can't wait to have you on the pod. Um, yeah, back to football. I was telling my brother yesterday, I was saying, tonight's probably the only NFL game I'll genuinely want to watch. And I think it's because of Mahomes and Lamar. I feel like those are two guys, two marketable guys that the NFL hasn't necessarily had. Brady and Breeze, for example, was week one, but I'm not necessarily running to my TV to watch that, and that's because I'm not a football head. But I think
You'll hear it here first. No one wants to say it. The Buccaneers are not going to be good. They're going to be 9-7. You heard it here first. Drew Brees is
regard,
getting old. He's washed.
regardless, my point being Lamar and Mahomes, I think they transcend the sport. And someone who doesn't enjoy football too much, I still want to watch them because they're just exciting. And I think that bodes well for the league. Um,
Best
regarding
league in
my regarding my league, the
That would
finals
be
have
the
been,
NBA, folks.
the
The other league in the country.
the finals have been set. Also, the NBA hasn't dealt with too many COVID cases, which is awesome for the
Yeah,
whole
I'm actually
country.
really surprised that the NFL's done so well because they're not in a
Yeah,
bubble.
exactly. Speaking of controversies, Doc Rivers just got fired from the Clippers, and
Yeah, I saw that. I liked
I
it.
don't.
Bummer.
Yeah, I don't know if you know this deep NBA cut, but Paul George, one of the players on the Clippers, he used to date Doc Rivers' daughter, Austin
Oh
Rivers'
yeah, this
sister.
whole spider web.
Yeah, and
This is crazy.
so
Explain it.
Paul George dated Doc Rivers' daughter
Who
and
is Austin Rivers'
sister,
sister?
which
That's a
is
player
irrelevant.
on the Rockets.
Yeah, but regardless, Paul George ended up cheating on Doc Rivers' daughter. Paul George is now married. I'm not sure uh, who he cheated on her with. Maybe the girl he's married to right now. Either way, Paul George then gets traded to the Clippers to play for Doc Rivers for 1 year, and now Paul George has now cheated on Doc Rivers' daughter and gotten him fired from the Clippers. And that is your NBA news for the day. Lakers and Heat are playing in the finals starting on Wednesday night. That should be fun. LeBron will hopefully claim his fourth NBA title
I want the
on
Heat to
my
win, but
goatness.
they have no chance.
Yeah, I think it'll be close. Hopefully six
I,
games, but
I think yeah, well the fact that you're saying hopefully 6 game chill, it's not going to be close.
yeah. Well, my brother can't wait till the NBA is over, and hopefully the TV will be turned to baseball and football all fall. But
No, I cannot watch baseball.
yeah, I know the playoffs are coming up though. So, Birch, I want to get your take. I know we've been texting a lot. The last week or so, I've been super engaged with what's going on, in DC, in regards to the Supreme Court, in regards to the presidential race, in regards to tomorrow night's debate, which I'm really looking forward to. Um, it seems like we're going to get a Supreme Court justice put into the court before Election Day. What are your thoughts on all this? And yeah, how are you feeling about tomorrow night's debate?
Well, first things first, I'm gonna discuss the implications of this. We're gonna like make this as unbiased as possible. Me and Jerry, like everyone, we have our own opinions, and in politics, it's hard to change people's opinions. So that's our little disclaimer here. I'm just gonna try to like overview this issue and just say it how it is. So, I mean, I'm sure on your Instagram feed, Jared, you can answer this. Like you've seen, if Trump gets a new judge in, it's gonna like repeal the Affordable Care Act. Healthcare is gonna go bye-bye. Abortions aren't gonna be a thing anymore.
Those are hot takes.
So you have not seen anything like that on your
No,
Instagram?
no, I have, and obviously the long-term implications are that abortion rights are at risk coming up. But I just read today that specifically when it comes to Roe v. Wade, that'll be a little bit down the line in terms of that being brought to the court.
Mm-hmm. Well, anyways, the point I was trying to make is what people aren't thinking about is like if Trump gets this person pushed through the Senate before the election, there's a very good chance that if it goes to the Supreme Court, which it's very likely that there's going to be some sort of legal battle between Biden and Trump about how the votes are counted, how like constitutional the mail-in ballots are. Is it constitutional to count ballots after Election Day? But you can pretty much guarantee if Trump gets his appointee in, it's going to be whatever the ruling is going to be in his favor, and it's going to be significantly harder for Biden to win the election. And that's people aren't thinking about that right now. And that is the biggest, in my opinion, that's why it needs to be after the election. I'm not telling you guys who I'm supporting for president, but I don't think that 9 people should decide who the country wants to be the president because, that's a big deal.
It'd be a Bush v. Gore situation again, it seems like.
Yes, exactly. And Trump has even said, I want this person in case, it goes to the election. And now I don't know if you've seen who the nominee is. I forget like her last name's Barrett. That's what I think. She's very conservative, very Christian, very unlikely to side with anyone except Republicans or Trump.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, there's
just the black and white.
Yeah, it seems like there's nothing that can be done about whether or not Trump pushes this woman through the Senate.
Yeah, so right now Republicans hold a 53-47 majority in the Senate. So I mean, there is hope from Democrats that some would like defect and not vote for this person because like they don't think it's the right thing to do. But so far, I believe only 1 or 2 Republicans have said that they won't. So it's very likely that she will get all the way through and she's nominated.
And there's there's precedent obviously to when you're supposed to replace a Supreme Court justice, but it's not necessarily written out in stone. How many weeks or how many months until you're supposed to replace them. Is that
actually
the case?
set by Republicans in 2016 is to wait after the election.
Right, but when we say precedent about like let's say Supreme Court rulings, those are precedents that are eventually set in stone in law. But this sort of precedent, there's no actual regulation about when you're supposed to.
No, there's no regulation.
Justice, right? Yeah. So I hear obviously in 2016 the Republicans, the Republicans prevented the Democrats from replacing a Supreme Court justice, and now they're kind of going back on their word and being a little bit hypocritical by wanting to put in a Republican justice. So that's the precedent, but there's no true regulation, and so I guess you can't necessarily be surprised with the decision making, but definitely not the most democratic or just way to go about it. It seems like.
Now, in terms of the election, I'll just give you my prediction so far, but basically it's going to come down to 3 states, and those states are Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Florida. Trump will have to win all 3 of them if he wants a chance of winning the presidency. And then there's a bunch of other battleground states too that have to fall his way, such as Georgia this year, which is a surprising one. It's usually very Republican. Ohio, just to name a few. But even if Trump wins all three in my predictions that I did one of those electoral college maps. In my predictions, the score would be tied 269 to 269. Now, if that happens, Biden basically wins because then the vote goes to the House of Representatives, which is Democratic.
When the college is exactly even between the two candidates, it goes straight to the House. Interesting. Has that ever happened?
So the House, no, I don't think it has. But the House votes on the president, and the Senate votes on the vice president. So that would be very interesting.
Right. So it could easily get split, which has never happened in our history.
I'm not sure if it's never happened in the history. I don't know how they used to do the president, vice president.
Yeah,
I think they used to
maybe.
do like in the very early days, like the loser became the vice president. I'm not sure
Oh
though.
my God. Yeah, that's fair. But in today's generation, a losing vice president being in right hand command of the winning president would just be across party lines. That would be a disaster, I feel like.
Yeah.
Birch, we texted about tomorrow's debate and sort of how Trump has set up Biden to be this incompetent candidate, and so if Biden does anything better than losing his mind on stage, it seems like he will have a win for the night. Is that how you see it?
Yeah, so I'll just get into that a little bit more. You guys have probably seen like a tweet from Trump or one of the Trump administration officials calling like Joe Biden Sleepy Joe Biden or something like that, and just like really challenging his mental acuity. So basically, in my opinion, this strategy just is completely backfiring on Trump because it is setting the bar so low for Biden that if he just doesn't make any major mistakes, like literally if he just makes the points that he needs to make and then just has no major mistakes, I think he wins the debate because the bar is just set so low. And that's Trump's own doing. And honestly, I think it wasn't a great strategy maybe after the debates, but like I think it's really backfiring right now.
Yeah. At the same time,
Oh,
if I
and
was Biden,
if you
go
look
ahead.
at Joe Biden's history, he's been a politician for almost half a century. He is a very solid debater. He usually does not make any major mistakes in debates.
Yeah. If I was Biden, I still would be nervous about
Of course.
sort of Trump's antics. I mean, I don't know what I would do up there if I was going up against him. He's just so unpredictable. He could say literally anything.
So basically, here's what's going to happen. I think Trump's going to go after Biden's family. That's going to be his son, who had like the whole Ukraine gas company and stuff, and then his brothers for other international business dealings. Biden basically, if I was one of Biden's advisors, I think the roadmap here for his success is do not spend time defending yourself. Do not spend time fact checking. Just talk to the American people. Because he needs to win the independents and the moderates who haven't made up their minds yet. That's who's going to decide this election. And the only way to do that, you can't win if you're just defending yourself the whole time. I mean, he's just going to have to make his points and ignore it, which is going to be super hard because, if someone came after my family, I'd obviously be like, you suck.
100%.
But,
And no matter how much prep you're going to get about some of the stuff our president might say to him, there's going to be stuff that he's not prepared for hearing, I'm sure, just with the nature of how our president sort of can speak out of turn on occasion. And so, yeah, I guess
Biden will win if he can keep the majority of the debates
about
messaging,
politics.
I guess, on COVID and the economy. If he can do that, he will win the debate. Because Trump is going to try to stay away from COVID.
Yeah.
That's my little political analysis for you guys. That's the first one, 4 episodes in. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Do we have anything else we want to hit on?
Yeah. How much you say bet? When I responded bet in the text, that was like complete sarcasm.
You've hated bet for a while.
Oh
ever
no,
since last year, I think.
I've hated bet since, it's been a thing. I didn't really hear it much in Connecticut until like I got back from college, and then all my friends started saying it, which sucked because I
But
hate it.
what have you been doing in your free time other than hanging out with your girlfriend? Anything interesting that you've been doing in a pandemic?
I mean, I've gotten more into stocks, I guess, just because I've had the time, but that
Yeah.
time's kind of disappearing because I don't know, not a lot of free time nowadays with
Yeah.
school starting and work.
And football and politics, that's a ton of your time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm reading a book called Understanding Wall Street, so
Wow. Look at you.
I know
It
I'm
seems like you should get your business minor
evolving.
back up. You should get your business minor back up and running, I think.
Yeah, but I pass failed what's it called?
Accounting.
Financial accounting, so I
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah. It's so funny how, I mean, you certainly have more knowledge of me about the street, and yet I'm just a significantly better business student than you. And that just shows you how little college matters in the grand scheme of things. So,
I mean, I don't want to talk about my micro class because that was yes, but whatever. Financial accounting, I did fine with
I
minimal
don't even know,
study.
Birch, I don't even mean the actual grades you got. I just mean the fact that you don't like, you're not even considering the minor, which is
Well,
fine,
I
but it just,
can't, I
we're
would
different
have, but
students.
I would have considered it, but at the time that I took it, I really couldn't afford any like not great grades, and I heard it was a super hard class, so I pass failed it, which, looking back on it, might have been a mistake, but it is what it is.
Birch, who do you miss most on our team that can't be in our grade?
Evan, that was easy.
Quick answer. Um, yeah, I miss everyone the same.
Maybe we should get into the finding an internship for next year discussion.
Yeah, let's do it. Birch, have you found an internship for the summer?
I'm working on it. I might try to work for the same company that I'm working for now if there's a
Yeah.
position. So we'll see on that. But I don't know. Maybe I want to work for a law firm next summer. I don't know because I'm legal studies minor. I'm doing pretty well at it, and I want to see what that's all about. See if I really like it because I think it's going to be a lot of writing. So we'll see if I can handle that. I want to see if I can handle it. That's basically the gist of it. Because if I
Birch,
can handle it, I might want to
I
do that.
yeah, I feel like you have your foot in a lot of different buckets, or your feet in a lot of different buckets, which is great. I always forget what your majors and minors are because you have so many, it feels like. But yeah, I think we're both considering going to college for at least a ninth semester, maybe ninth and 10th semesters. And so we have some more time than we typically would have. Um, and I think making these decisions is so hard now. Not that a summer internship is necessarily a huge life decision, but um, we just have no idea what the summer is going to be like. Could I get a job in the city where I'm actually in the office meeting new people? That would be ideal. But if everything's remote, that sort of changes the thought process on what internship I'm looking for. Um,
Indeed.
so yeah, this world is just super uncertain. Um, and yeah, maybe I'll just work at a restaurant like I did last summer. So who knows?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I would love to. I mean, the food industry right now is a little tough, so that might not be that fun anymore. But yeah,
Be
I'm
a
open to
DoorDasher.
exactly. I'm open to anything. So um, yeah, we're
Do
just gonna
that.
wait. We're gonna wait and see, I guess.
Slide up and hit our boy Jared with job recommendation. I don't know. Never mind.
with some moral support
Put Jared on.
for
Put
his job
Jared
search.
on.
If anyone knows, if anyone has
Put
housing
me
in
on. Put
Waltham
both of us
available,
on. Yeah, hit us up. Hit both of
jobs,
us up.
housing, life advice, let us know in the
Everything.
comments. If any of you are watching this on YouTube, please comment, like, subscribe, check us out on Instagram. And that's all
Yeah.
we have for you. Bert, you want to give us our closing?
Yeah, great conversation. It was fun. This was a fun episode. I think we should just do you and me more often. instead of one every 4 times. Maybe we'll do it a little bit more. Hopefully the people enjoy this, you know. It was a great conversation. The boys are still buzzing, and we'll see you next time. What the hell was this?
Step in the kitchen. Let's go.